Hi, Bryan Campbell with The Next Step. I wanted to talk to you today about 5 qualities that every great leader has. We can read it in books, we can go hear them speak, we can go through the test of time, we can look at leaders all the way back at the start and the growth of the United States, or we can look back to the leaders such as Simon Sinek. We can go to anybody from Microsoft leaders to anybody that you want to talk about, but the things that they have in common are their qualities, their characteristics. And today I wanted to talk about only 5. The first one is ability. And with ability, the definition of ability is what are you capable of doing? I want to expand on that just a little bit. If you're working for an employer and you walk in the office and you see trash bulging out of the kitchen trash, do you have the ability to empty it? Or do you just not care enough that all you're there for is the ability to get a paycheck? Something to think about. Where's your mindset? Do you have the ability to make your work, your home, your organization better? Sometimes we don't have the ability. Maybe someone is paralyzed in a wheelchair. Do they have the ability to do as much as someone who might not be in the wheelchair? Probably not. The next quality is responsibility. And when you think about responsibility, responsibility comes from 2 words. It comes from response and ability. We've already talked about ability. So what is the response that you have with the God-given ability that you were born with? Responsibility is not bestowed on someone. It's not something that someone says, you have responsibility. It's not something that is just a word where it's given to us. Responsibility is, do you have a response with the given ability that you were born with? The third quality and character trait is inspiration. Now, if you were to look to the Webster Dictionary, inspiration and motivation have 2 completely opposite values in what I teach, what I work with. People talk about motivation and getting them move, and people can give them motivation. I'm going to tackle inspiration first. I believe that inspiration is from people, persons, places, and things. I believe you can get inspired by listening to people. I believe you can get inspired by watching a CEO. I believe you can get inspired by watching a coworker do something to make the company better. I believe that you can get inspired sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower. I believe that you can get inspired by your first grandchildren. That leads me to motivation. Motivation determines what you do. What you do. So the difference between inspiration and motivation is you can only motivate yourself. Motivation is movement by self. And so if you want more motivation, get inspired by persons, places, or things. Get the motivation to move. With that, when you do start to move, the 5th and final character trait that almost every leader that I've ever studied, watched, been around is attitude. Attitude determines how well you do it. Now, a lot of times in business, you may be working on a project with a group of people, with coworkers. You may be in an organization. Maybe you're working with the Red Cross. Maybe you're working with the Girl Scouts. Maybe you're working with your local Little League team. Sometimes we lose. Sometimes we don't have things that go right. And we all know those people that want to complain. They want to talk about how something's right. In my case, through the years, I think about 5 spinal cord injuries. And when people say, how do you have such a good attitude when you've had 5 spinal cord injuries? My response is always, how can you not? I'm walking. I believe that if I was to concentrate on the pain that I live every single day, it's my belief that my attitude would be very poor. If my attitude's very poor, I believe the behaviors surrounding my attitude, my outcome, I'm not going to be able to do as much. When I think to myself, yes, I've had 5 spinal injuries, but you know what? Today I'm walking. Today I'm talking to you. Today I'm obtaining my goals of doing more. I've manifested a life where I can do more by having a great attitude. These are 5 quality and character traits that most leaders have. If it helps you, please apply them to your life. Thanks very much. Never get up and make it a great day.